ठीक है. Cool. Okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fourth episode of Entrepreneurs 11. With me is Mr. Rahul Arya, the founder and CEO of Renacle. Hi, Rahul, and welcome to Entrepreneurs 11.
Hi, Jayesh. Good to see you after 5 years.
Yeah,
And
good to see you too.
Thanks for inviting me for fourth episode.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Okay, so Rahul, without much ado, I think we can jump into our first section, which I call Gully Cricket.
Okay.
Right. So, if you would be able to share something about your childhood, where are you from? What is your native place? What is your family background?
Okay. So I belong to a middle class Maharashtrian family, and both my parents are government employees, now retired government employees. And I did my schooling and 11th, 12th from Mumbai.
Okay.
And after that, I went to Kolhapur to pursue my engineering studies.
Okay.
And while pursuing engineering studies, I realized that I was not very much interested in studies, to be honest. Academics as such did not interest me. And while doing engineering, right from first year, I tried my hand at, say, different business ideas. I even explored poultry farming, goat farming, cashew nut trading.
Right.
And yeah, varied, not startup ideas, but businesses I tried my hand at. And by third year and fourth year, I started working with non-ferrous metal foundries and submersible pumps floor. And so that was my 4 year actual career, which I did in engineering. And I'm an electronics engineer, but not much of a skill, say, in electronics. But by the fourth year, I understood that I shouldn't be applying for a job because I was not a good engineer as such. But because I had multiple business experience, I had very strong business acumen.
Sure.
So instead of sitting for placement and getting a job, I started a private limited company then, back in 2010, 2011.
Okay.
And third year, I guess I started. Yeah. And what I used to do, I used to assemble submersible pumps ka parts and sell in Kolhapur.
Okay.
So the business which I did, then I was immature and I had very less exposure to the business world. But I just began, had faith in myself and had conviction that I can start.
Right.
And I knew where to procure those parts from. And I understood my customer in Kolhapur. And I know what is the price point I can pay along with. And the profits which I brought home then was far more rewarding than the salaries my fellow batchmates could earn in their respective jobs.
Right.
So that was a very good experience I had with business. And in Kolhapur, I was away from my family. I used to stay alone. So I used to cook. I used to run the business. I used to come back home. I used to have a lot of time at my hand. And while doing so, on parallel on sites, I started solving puzzles, अपना quantitative analysis के problems, logical reasoning.
Right.
So got a book, and just for fun and as a hobby, I started doing that. I read a lot of books, and so my business was running in tandem. I used to solve this kind of problems. So one of my friend insisted that you should appear for CAT, and I was like, yeah, that would be possible because for CAT preparation, it takes almost say 6 months or at least a year of dedication. But on his insistence, I went ahead. I applied for CAT, and I surprised myself, and I received a call from IIM Raipur. And then I know that I was at Y Junction because the business I was very much content with the life I had then and the business what I was running. And but other thought was that with the kind of exposure I had after doing engineering, kind of network I had, I could create that kind of business.
Right.
The logic was, if at all, say, I get exposed to a PGDM degree, the learning, meeting with, say, getting exposed to that kind of education.
Right.
So I thought, yeah, I think I should do that. And so I folded up my business of submersible pumps. Then I came and joined IIM in 2013.
Right.
And on the first day, I remember the introduction which all our batchmates were giving.
Correct.
All had very illustrious, very impressive academic records. People like you said that you're gold medalist in so and now you're here. There were people who said they were qualified for Math Olympiad. There were guys who were selected for international debates and all. I got very nervous then. And when I came up to the stage, I could only say I did poultry farming experience, cashew nut, and submersible pumps. But I did not, Jan Puchka did not say anything about my academics. But in IIM also, again, when we had very good sessions from our placement teams, and the direction our mentors told, our teachers told that this is the kind of job opportunities you will have in the market. In those 2 years, I again had a dilemma whether I should sit for the placement, or should I again just complete the PGDM degree, revisit all the ideas, old ideas which I had. And I had a good framework of all those ideas which I worked upon previously. So this time around, I thought I can add a bit more value with a lot more maturity, and can apply myself well in those businesses. But by the end of, say, last semester, no, when we had our placement and everything, I could not synthesize or come up with a single business idea or a problem statement which I felt I need to solve this, which I could feel this is the thing which I need to work upon as a startup, as a business. So that was the thing. And in the flow, I sat for placement. I got a job offer from Milestone Brandcom. It's an outdoor advertising agency here in Worli, Mumbai. And then I started working with Milestone Brandcom. And while working with them, I actually understood what a corporate working culture looks like. Because, say, managing a team of 80 to 100 people, everyone needs to work in unison. There needs to have a customer care segment, HR team, say, marketing executives, and all this. So mentors and bosses from that company also, I got to learn a lot of from them. And also I got exposed to around 23 to 25 odd brands while working with an advertising company. So that was a good learning experience for me in that 1 year. And after Milestone Brandcom, I got selected in Indian Oil, a good PSU company. I worked in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and managed multiple petrol pumps and also new commissioning of petrol pumps. So in Milestone Brandcom, I could learn a lot of marketing kind of aspect, running organization kind of aspect. And in Indian Oil, I learned a lot of operational, legal compliances, safety compliances, and a lot of 52 MOU points are there in Indian Oil. I could understand the small nuances, attention to detail kind of thing while running a business. So again, I worked for a year in Indian Oil, and by end of that, I was enjoying. It was a good experience for me, handling so many, say, a very important business for India. So by the end of my, say, first year, I felt this is not who I am actually. I worked with a private company, corporate. I worked with PSU, but somewhere I had a different calling. So I did not have a particular idea where I can say I need to work on this. There was no startup idea as such. But then I just, again, on faith and conviction, I quit Indian Oil. It was a good paying, rewarding job, satisfying job actually. But I just felt I don't belong. So I quit that job and took 1 month of proper rest. I did not think much, did not put a lot of pressure onto me. But I knew I had the strong business acumen. I would be able to make something
out of it.
And previous experience also I had of people who can help me build a business. I had a lot of friends who were doing businesses. So all that kind of ecosystem I already had around me. So one of my friends called Aniket Mahashabde, he then had around 6 to 7 years of cycling experience. And so that's how we started thinking. And then also, apart, while cycling idea was there, I was also working on other parallel, let's say, multiple ideas. But finally, I could just cancel out, no, this is not the thing I would like to work with as of now. But cycling, kind of that opportunity impressed me. And I thought that my goal of my life is very much in line if I help, say, grow cycling more in India. And this is how the cycling journey for me, the Renecal Cycling Private Limited, came along, and I partnered with Aniket Mahashabde then and registered this company. And only thing that I discussed was because he had experience of running a proprietary business. And I said, if we are to create a company, it has to be scalable and pan-India wide. So that's how the journey began.
Great. So tell me, Rahul, I mean, the temptation of a safe and a secure job is paramount. I mean, you yourself said that you worked in a private limited company, you worked for a PSU. What did you do to avoid that temptation? I mean, what was that one thing which you told yourself, yaar, ye nahi karna hai, ye karna hai?
The thing was, my natural state of my mind, the person I am, I had to talk myself into working into a job.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So it was the other way around.
it was not correct. So I had to think, yeah, let's get this job experience with this job, ESU job.
Hmm.
But I knew that is not my natural state. So that's why.
And
Then
no resistance from family, no
uh,
objections from them.
so my family, both my family, as I said, are government employees,
Ah,
and I do still date. I receive a tremendous support from them.
oh,
So they believe in my conviction and they have let me free basically to
great,
express
great,
myself.
great. So see, that is this is one of the coolest things, right? That you are coming from a background which is absolutely not related to entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
Very secure job-based background, and
Yeah.
now you are in a state where it is all about entrepreneurship. It is core entrepreneurship, right? So great. I think that that journey sums it all up. So in retrospect, if there is one or two, or if there are one or two experiences that you had early on,
Hmm.
which helped you in entrepreneurship, what would they be? So from your personal life, or early on in your experiences in your first maybe one or two ventures, which
Hmm.
helped you become the entrepreneur that you are now.
Hmm. As I said, I started my business. I tried at multiple businesses since 2007, 8.
Right.
I explored a lot of fields, a lot of verticals. I failed at them, but then I grew at understanding the small nuances which I used to miss then. For example, I need to have a proper brief in place. What exactly is it that I'm looking to solve here, do
Correct.
here?
Correct.
Am I adding certain value, creating a value, or I'm just doing a business?
Sure.
Like what Peter Thiel in his book Zero to One says, uh, it's more critical to create, say, from zero to one rather than from one to end. Previously, what I used to do was one to end kind of businesses,
Right.
but
Right.
now I learned from those experience to create, say, from zero to one kind of business model as of now, and I'm happy with that. Abhi.
Correct, correct. And I think this is very important because for startups, the
Hmm.
glamour is in taking things from one to end,
Yeah.
not zero to one, right? And I
Yeah.
think this personal experience is a big insight
Yeah.
for most of us.
Correct.
So we jump into the second segment, which I call power play, right?
Okay.
And IPL season is on us, so power play is only fitting. So tell us something about Renacle. What is the venture all about? What is the core thought behind it?
So, and back in 2017, as I said, me and my partner were discussing what are the opportunities we have in cycling, especially in India.
Mhm.
So, statistically, India is far behind as per when compared to cycling,
Right.
because say world's average is, say, 10 times more than Indian average of usage of cycle. So, and that too, even 98% of the cycles which we have, which is very less, they are all rural kind of mama gadi kind of cycles. You remember the cycles
Right. Right.
on
Right.
which the goods and the milk are delivered. So
Correct.
commuting, rural commuting kind of,
Hmm.
and only 2% are used for cycling experiences as such in, say, urban cities. So
Hmm.
that was a disparity. So, and the premium cycles are sold around, say, more 15,000 is the basic cost, and it sells above 20,000, 25,000,
Correct.
and
Correct.
only the rich of India to buy, because unlike bikes where you can buy bikes on EMI basis, you
Mhm.
just need to put up, say, 4 to 5,000 as down payment, and then rest of the money you can pay on EMI. But
Right.
with cycle, you can't do that. You have to shell out 25,000
Mhm.
upfront.
Mhm.
So because of this reason, only the rich buy premium cycles,
Correct.
and middle class may cite different reasons. There are different reasons: infrastructure, the weather condition, the traffic condition, and everything, pollution and all. But still, there was a lot of opportunity we felt that middle class is missing, and we can definitely devise a certain, say, product which middle class can make use of.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we played at providing premium cycling experiences at very much affordable, flexible cost for our users.
Mhm.
So with that intention, we started thinking, and what we started doing, we procured premium cycles straight from the source, that is manufacturers,
Mhm.
and we developed technology wherein we put locks on the cycles, and
Mhm.
via app, anyone can lock and unlock the cycle and take the cycle wherever and use it as if it's own.
Right.
It's his own.
Right.
So we started deploying these cycles inside gated premises. We selected the complexes where we would like to have our cycles because the cycles were out in the open, and we did not want to be dependent on external factors like say civic sense, common civic sense which
Right.
people may
Right.
have.
Right.
So to secure our assets from vandalism and theft, we selected the location. So the location criteria which met our criteria was the complex should be more than 100 flats. It should have say clubhouse. It should have some facilities,
Right.
say swimming pool. Security was a must. They should have cameras, and that's why we used to deploy around 5 to 10 cycles inside gated premises, and it was open exclusively available, but open to all the
Right.
people who stayed in that complex asset. So that was the thing, which the basic product. Then
Right.
we started acquiring locations, and in matter of few months, we acquired around 60 locations, and we saw on just 250 assets, we saw more than 50,000 rides happening within a matter of 8 months.
Right.
8 months or 10 months, and 22,000 downloads, 5,500 active users. So what we did, we gave a customer, our rider, cycle of say 25,000 worth at 300 rupees monthly subscription,
Okay.
and he can anytime he can just opt for opting out of subscription and get the refundable deposit back.
Right.
So we created that kind of ecosystem. Plus, we connected all the locations. So the 60 locations were spread across. We are at in the city of Pune, and in all the 60 locations, they can say take the cycle from one point and park it anywhere, and all the location and everything they can track on the app.
Right.
So,
Right.
so that is what Renicle does.
Right.
And in pre-COVID world, that was the scenario. And
Pre-COVID, right, right. Big change. Big
yeah,
change.
yeah, Janta curfew and lockdown and mobility is the first industry to be hit.
Correct.
So then we pivoted. Now, currently, what we are doing, we are giving it out on individual rentals. We have that model too,
Okay.
but also people considering the social distancing, non-sharing, their comfort and all. And also because gyms and other modes of say exercising, outdoor exercising is not there, not present options. So cycling for us, we are seeing a good demand. So we are also giving it for individual rental,
Right.
monthly, quarterly, 6 monthly.
Correct. Correct. So you have seen one big cycle, right, where the first pivot has come in because of an external.
Yeah, that is something. Yeah, no one can anticipate. But and mid-COVID, to tell you, because we had the access to the 60 locations, we even sold vegetables when during the lockdown period, 3 months, and we prepared certain boxes, 500 rupees, weekly vegetable boxes, and essential stuff, and we started selling those.
Correct. Correct. So that helps with outreach, right? Anything, and that's
Yeah.
in fact it's a service as well. So it was not
Correct.
necessarily as a part of your model.
And it was demanded by the customers because we were present in right at their gates. So the brand recall for them was huge for Renicle. So they just asked, it came from them that they require this. Can we do that for them?
Correct.
We said, okay, for us, we have the access and we just have to connect the logistics from
Which
vendor to the
also
builder.
goes to show the trust on the brand, right?
Yeah.
The association with the brand was there. So see, Rahul, what I hear you saying is that you did not just go with the typical approach of finding gap areas, right? Your venture started with something which was of individual interest to you.
Exactly.
Right? Or your partner, for that matter.
Yeah.
It started off with that, and then you guys explored where there are gaps in those interest areas. How did that come about?
Yeah, I would like to share a story here. I missed out in my introduction. Maybe, so I'll just tell you. While I was working with Milestone, my office was in Worli, and I used to stay in Bandra.
Okay.
So it's around 10 kilometers per distance, and you know Mumbai traffic.
Yeah.
So the office timing was 10 o'clock reporting, and I used to drive. I used to take taxi or maybe sometimes trains. Looking at the traffic scenario, it took me 55 to 1 hour, 55 minutes to 1 hour to travel that distance, and all sweaty and all the traffic, and it frustrated. Before even starting your job, your day, you are already frustrated. And job was excellent, but that particular part did frustrate me a lot. I thought, what can I do to change this? So Aniket, as I said, he said, why don't you take up cycling? And before that, I never owned a cycle, or I never had. I was nervous rider. So I purchased a good Merida premium cycle for myself, and I thought, "कि चलो मैं एक cycle एक दिन में I'll try." I was very nervous. I fell a couple of times because before actually I was just practicing around my building. I fell, but I thought, "कि one fine day, no, I'll just try." So I knew that it takes around 1 hour to reach by a cab to my office. So it will take 2 hours for me on cycle to reach the office.
Fair.
So I started, I had all the gear, all impressive looking gear, goggles, the gloves, the knee pads, the helmets and everything. And I started with the bag and all bike. So I started my journey at 8 and I reached my office at 8:35. It took me just half an hour. And then I realized that I'm saving a lot of time. And instead of going to gym in the evening, I can better cycle back again. So 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. I took shower. We had a shower facility nearby our office, the gym. I should take shower, change into formals and work. So that when I was riding, I realized why is it that no one thinks through this?
About this, correct.
And there were a lot of stops, say traffic signals. I used to abide by all the traffic signals and all. So whenever I used to stop by, the people around, same taxis, the bikes, the car, they used to see me cycling with all the gear, and they used to ask, "ये कितने का cycle है, क्या है, कैसा है?" So वो एक होता था. So that felt nice then.
Correct. So yeah. And in fact, beating Mumbai traffic by cycle is the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
And perhaps cycling 20 kilometers daily is the secret behind your good looks, isn't it?
Okay. So the thing was, no, I'll add. I would like to add here, not about looks, but about fitness. When I started, before I started cycling, my weight was 103 kilos. I tend to add weight easily. I was 103 kilos before I took up cycling, and by time during my milestone till I quit the job, I was 77, and I can't say it happened because of cycling only, but because you start cycling, you start working out, you exercise, you tend to get more conscious of what you eat, how you sleep. So everything regarding fitness started falling in place for me. So before that, getting out of say railway station, getting a vada pav, getting a cool drink, and you understand that kind of. So I, being in Mumbai, when I started cycling, that duration I did not touch vada pav. And it's not that I tried to resist; it just came to me. I shouldn't be eating this junk.
So that is a sacrifice I think you can make. I would not have been in your place.
You should start cycling then.
Yeah, right. So, what is the most? I think what is the most difficult experience that you can remember in your entrepreneurship journey, especially after you moved into entrepreneurship, leaving both your jobs?
Most difficult. Actually, it was very much enjoyable, and there are challenges. It's like what Rocky Balboa said in the movie Rocky. It's not about how hard you can punch or hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and still get up.
Right.
There were a lot of challenges. For example, I'll say it hurts you when say you let your words drop. For example, if I promise something to my customers, to my employees, and that doesn't happen, if I fail to deliver that, it hurts the most.
Sure.
And it may be or may not be in your hand to deliver. But that is the one thing which actually affects me. But then you get to learn what to do, how can you improve upon.
Correct.
So good experience till now, but certain challenges.
Correct. So, Amal, what is the one thing that you are most surprised about that has changed in your worldview after you became an entrepreneur?
After I became an entrepreneur, I think
one thing that changed in your worldview that you are most surprised by.
Yeah, I think I started valuing networking more.
Oh, okay.
Networking more, being with right kind of people, being in right kind of mental frame, and yeah. So I guess that's before that. No, you tend to think that it comes from you. You can deliver. You can work upon. If you're confident, you are hard working, you have skills. You feel that you would be able to create such things. But while you evolve, right? Say my first year, second year, third year of the journey, you understand the networking and all other things I said, that those are more critical than me, people around.
Right. So it's not just about what you bring to the table; it's
Yeah,
about who you bring to the table as well.
correct, correct, correct.
Great, great, great. So, what has been the highest moment of yours? I mean, when have you been the happiest in this journey?
Customers,
Customers.
downloads. We could see we had created the BI dashboard, business intelligence dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see, downloads or paid customers or the right usage goes upwards,
Correct,
that
correct.
gives a different high. And apart from that, if I can think of, we won Best Startup Award in 2018 by Franchise India.
Mm-hmm.
It happened in Worli, Mumbai. And then last year, we got funded by 100x.vc team,
Right, right,
Sanjay Mehta's company,
right, right,
family office. And he selected us. We were among top 20 companies. And
right.
there were around 2,500 applications for this particular fundraise from across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be, say, top 1%, and that too of this kind of, say, competition.
Right,
That was one good highlight.
right. And this was class one of 100x VC, right?
100x.vc.
Right.
Correct, correct.
I think that's a big achievement in itself. Great. So we'll do something fun, right? We move to our third segment called Silly Point,
Okay.
right? More of a rapid fire coffee with Karan kind of a thing, only less controversial.
Hardik Pandya got banned.
That's
To
why
make sure.
Silly Point.
Yeah, yeah. Be nice to me.
Right, right. Which IPL team are you supporting?
Mumbai.
Mumbai Indians. So, do
Yeah.
you think Mumbai will win this cup in Dubai?
Um, yeah, it stands a chance, but it's difficult. A lot of other
Percentage.
teams may.
Give a
But
rough.
yeah, I'll be supporting Mumbai, of course, and not because, say, of the current players, current strength we have. It's
Correct.
just because Mumbaikar, and Sachin was in this team.
Okay, so
So
you got me there. Favorite cricketer, current and all time.
Sachin and Rohit Sharma. Sachin all time and Rohit Sharma current.
Not surprising that there is no bowler in the favorite cricketers of most people. Huh?
No, but I used to bowl too.
Yeah, yeah. So, who is your favorite actor, Bollywood or Hollywood?
Uh, I don't follow films as much, but acting, I can buy a ticket of any of Amir Khan's movie.
Oh, okay, okay. Favorite heroine?
Any, whoever works with Amir Khan,
Oh, okay. I
that
thought
movie.
it would take you less time to answer your favorite heroine as opposed to hero. Huh?
No, yeah.
Correct, correct. Okay. So, favorite holiday destination?
I can say Santorini Islands, Greece. I
Sorry?
have been there. Santorini Islands.
Santorini, right,
I
right.
have been there for student exchange program, and I loved it. And again, whenever I get opportunity, I'll be buying the ticket
Great,
and
great.
going off to Santorini.
Acha. So, if you could stop watching cricket for an hour, let's say, which sport would you watch instead of cricket?
UFC.
UFC. Okay, okay. Interesting choice. Um, what is your go-to piece of literature? I mean, when you want to introspect or when you want to think, which piece of literature helps you?
Not a particular book, but I do go back to, say, entrepreneur's journey, all those kind of books. Say, for example, of Elon Musk, of Peter Thiel.
Hmm.
And apart from literature, no, I also tend to watch a lot of YouTube videos, apart from books, of Milton Friedman, Thomas Sowell, about macroeconomics. So that builds a great world perspective for me. And
Right.
so I go back to that, and basically content on economics and business.
Okay, okay, great. Um, okay, so let's say you want to organize a panel discussion on sports
Okay.
in general, creating
Okay.
awareness and highlighting the importance of sports. So,
Okay.
who are the three sports people you would call in the panel discussion along with you?
Sorry, I got disconnected for a while. I received a call.
Yeah, so,
Can you repeat the question?
right. So,
Yeah.
I was saying that if you are to organize a panel discussion to highlight the importance of sports in India, what and if you are to hold a panel discussion for that, which three sports people would you choose?
Hello.
Yeah, Rahul. Can you?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No
Can you
problem.
repeat the question again? Sorry.
So I was saying that you want to host a panel discussion to
Yeah.
highlight the or showcase the importance of sports, right? You are moderating that panel. Who are
Mm.
the three sports people that you would invite?
I would invite Saurav Ganguly.
Okay.
Okay. Then Abhinav Bindra, gold medalist.
Okay.
And I would also like to have, he's not a sports star as such, but I do respect him from fitness perspective. I would invite Milind Soman because he understands sporting well in the country.
Right. Right. No, Sachin.
I know he's great at playing cricket. May not be as good as for
Correct.
that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to talking about cricket, Dada is
Yeah, better.
right, right, right. Okay. What is your guilty pleasure or cheap thrill?
Hmm. Hmm. I like watching cartoons. I watch Simpsons. I watch Family Guy. I watch Looney Tunes. I watch Donald Ducks, DuckTales.
Uh,
I
I
go back to those.
I think it is much more popular than you are thinking. So it may not come under the
Oh, is it?
category
Oh,
of
that is lovely to know.
yeah, yeah,
Thank God.
yeah. Right, right. Okay, so I have two more questions in this segment.
Okay.
One is that I have three more actually. One is that what has been one of your biggest regrets in this journey?
Uh, Regrets. I can't use the word regrets. Maybe learnings, but uh, entrepreneurial journey. Maybe though, as I said, the promises you make to your customers. For example, I'll just yeah, I'm okay to say this. We were promised a certain investment, but that did not happen. And because we were promised we could see a certain timeline,
Sure.
we ramped up all the expenses and had built a team. And we were supposed to deliver something, which did not happen. So in this particular, say
It was
previous,
not.
that was one regretful. But then you end up learning a lot and stabilize your business. So that kind of experience also, I think I'm blessed to understand that,
Sure, sure.
know that.
Great, great. Um, what is the one thing that you fear will change in you with time?
Will change with in me with
Yeah,
time. Okay, uh, I'm not sure whether it will change,
right.
but yeah, correct. I fear that I should stay grounded, connected to the people
Mhm.
uh, with whom I am now. I should uh, acknowledge and know the importance of the people who are supporting me right now.
Right, right, right.
So that's the only thing should not change. And I believe it won't because kind of experience I had, but because I have not achieved the heights which I aspire for.
Correct,
So I don't know.
correct, correct. And I think it becomes very important at later stages also to remain grounded and be connected with these people because
Correct.
people keep you grounded a lot of times. Fair, fair.
Correct.
That's a founded fear. Last question of this segment. If you are to become the minister who's in charge of the startup ecosystem for a month or let's say for a 5-year term,
Okay.
what would be the one big change that you would bring in?
Insolvency.
Insolvency. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of startups fear that creating a private limited company is easy,
Mm-hmm.
but folding and getting out. And because I want a lot of say fellow Indians and youth to uh, have this idea, create, go out, build businesses. There
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be fear of insolvencies. So
Sure.
while you're creating a company, your CS or CA
Mm-hmm.
will ask you, "Are you sure?" Because creating a private limited company, it's like creating an individual,
Correct.
and also taxation maybe, but insolvency वो होना चाहिए.
Right.
And also I have 5 years, right? So
Mm.
insolvency one,
Right. Of course.
and uh, cleaning of bureaucracy, speeding it up, accountability
Right.
to the all the systems, all the institutions who
Mm.
are say responsible for distributing subsidies,
Mm.
delivering on schemes, better support system, better say venture capitalists. We have private domain,
Correct.
but I would like to have government bodies also as competitive and as aggressive at our private players.
Private counterparts.
I would
Right.
like to, yeah, I would like to create that kind of ecosystem.
यार ये कर दिया तो 5 years it'll change the face of the scene, right?
Would love to.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
have any connect, please connect.
Okay, so we move to the final segment of this episode called Slogovers.
Okay.
So I will have three questions for you in this segment.
Okay.
My first question would be that what is the single most important milestone that you want to achieve? Your big, hairy, audacious goal.
Okay. Okay. Auditions go. No? So say when I'm gone, whenever whoever types Rahul Arya
Hmm.
on any search engine across the world, it should show that I was someone who created massive positive social impact on the world. So that is something I would like to achieve and strive for.
Right.
So the current business also what I'm doing is, as I said, it's aligned with my life's goal.
Right. Fair. And I think that's a pretty audacious goal, but I think fairly achievable if things keep going the way they are. Second last question. What are the two most important skills that entrepreneurs should develop apart from networking, right? To succeed, generally to succeed.
Okay. Um, so we have problem statements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you are planning to solve or address.
Mm.
That problem statement is qualitative. You should be able to quantify it, think through, and convert it into say binary kind of setting, either 0 or 1.
Okay.
So whenever you hit certain Y junctions along the way, you are clear because you have formulated a certain equation on the basis of the problem statement you have. You are
Right.
clear whether at this particular junction either it is going to be 1 or 0.
Right.
So basically, to have clarity of your brief, what
Correct.
you're working.
Correct.
That is most important, I guess.
Right. Fair, and I think that is fairly important. Yeah. So my last question, since you have been funded by a very reputed VC, if you could share some insights for other budding entrepreneurs, as far as what do VCs look for in entrepreneurs, right? Yeah. So I mean, the technical knowledge is out there that they look for the product, they look for the team, they look for XYZ. But what is the X factor that they look for?
They do not look for entrepreneurs, they look at entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Who that entrepreneur, who is he? For example, if any entrepreneur is starting a startup, the first money put in should be of his, how much conviction he has in the idea. Friends and families. It is very easy to say that friends and families do invest, but it is difficult as well because since your child, say your schooling, colleges, and everything, you create a lot of friends along the way, and plus your family, near about relatives, they need to have faith in you as an entrepreneur that you would be able to deliver.
Right.
If you're able to crack that, then the VCs also know that people around you can put money on you, not just immediate family members, but also the friend circle. So creating brand you is very important. Your words should have value. What you say, you deliver. That should be the thing. So VCs to look for entrepreneurs at entrepreneurs, and apart from that, then the tangible and quantifiable aspect comes into play. For example, what is the market size? What is the problem statement? What is the projection? What is your skills? What is your learning? And all that. Your team, everything. How much revenue you have achieved till date? So all that falls in place.
Correct. Right. Interesting. I know I said three questions. I thought of one more. What are your views on the valuation game that is going on? I mean, without putting you into controversy, what are your views on this valuation thing that is happening?
If it's there, it has helped a lot of companies to achieve huge scale. It has achieved, enabled companies to go and explore international waters. So valuation game is something, if it's there, no, it's for good in the current scenario. But apart from that, as of now, in post-COVID world, people or startup, the entrepreneurs should be more aware about being unit positive and also to a point be organic. So I do respect valuation game because it has helped our ecosystem.
Right.
Okay, there are lot of roadkills up to say 70-80%. Because people started with having valuation game in mind.
Correct.
There were a lot of roadkills, but the ones who succeed
Hmm.
Okay. They develop a lot of value for
Hmm.
entrepreneurs. They also inspire others to take up
Get
entrepreneurship.
into the game, right?
Yeah, so that is there. But apart, as of now, in this the period of say business unusual scenario,
Hmm.
uh, I guess unit positive and organic growth
Hmm.
should be the mantra for say foreseeable future, say December or say March of next. Then after that, hockey stick growth, and that should be the aspiration. Otherwise, investment won't come, because if you are investing in a stranger's company, you need to get a lot of returns, say in multiples, not in
Correct.
percentages.
Correct. 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 So to sum it all up, one is that the entrepreneur should inspire confidence in the people around him or her.
Yeah.
So in and quantifiable confidence in terms of
Hmm.
money, in terms of
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
right. Second, in terms of business uncertainty or in times of business uncertainty, it is not about how big you appear, but how
Hmm.
good you are on the sheets,
Correct.
right? So unit positive, or whether you call red balance sheet, all of that, red P&L, that becomes more important in times of uncertainty.
Right.
And third, your stuff should be in place. Your brief, your problem statement, your
Clarity.
value proposition needs to be in place. So once that is in place, all the rest of it follows.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
right. Great. I think any message that you want to pass on to the community at large?
It should be your gut feeling, conviction, and also you should know whether you can truly deliver and execute.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you need to work towards that.
Correct.
Say almost 7 out of 10 people
Hmm.
of all management schools students, they think that they can. But before
Correct.
that, do your due diligence studying the analysis part. But
Hmm.
I would like people, more and more people, students, to take up entrepreneurship.
Right. Right. Right.
So, yeah. But do your studies, do your due diligence.
Do your homework. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
do your homework.
You're correct. Great. I think it was a fabulous interaction, Rahul. Thank you so much for coming onto the show. Nice to see you after a long time, and it was a lovely chat.
Hmm.
Thanks a lot. That's it we have for today.
Thanks, Jayesh, for having me.
Yep. Thanks
And
all.
I'm batting at fourth. Sachin Tendulkar used to bat at fourth in tests.
Okay.